When considering the lightning, thunder, and voices, it can certainly get a little confusing, especially when we discover that they're not only found at the throne of God, but also in the seventh seal, trumpet, and bowl. But here's the simplicity. The throne reveals the source of the lightning, thunder, and voices, while the seventh seal reveals the purpose of these three elements, which is the earthquake. Finally, the seventh trumpet and bowl are the unfolding or manifestation of this great earthquake, correlating with the prophecies to the seven churches. The seven prophecies are synonymous with the seven trumpets and bowls. They are different facets of the same diamond. It's not a coincidence that there are three elements at the throne. Three, as all of us know, typifies a complete witness. Of what? Of his righteous judgment, the seventh of the seven spirits of God. Remember, seven is the summation and manifestation, so righteous judgment corresponds perfectly with the cries of the souls in the fifth seal, as well as with Revelation 20, verses 4 through 15. Despite the traditional take, I believe this judgment has been present and ongoing since the days of Christ and the apostles. How do we know? Because the Lord's declarations to each church include both judgment and reward and have been unfolding since the days of the early church. So, allow me to emphasize, the throne of God is the source of the lightning, thunder, and voices, while the seventh seal reveals the purpose, referring to the great earthquake or shaking of the heavens and earth by his voice, the time of yet once more. We have been passing through this for the past 2,000 years. It is not just an earthquake, but a great earthquake or great tribulation. What makes this tribulation great is first, the span of time from then to now, and secondly, the increasing love of the self due to the growth of the world's population and the advancement of technology. Think about it. It's not that long ago that man knew very little of what was going on around him outside the framework of his family and friends. Communication and travel were very restricted. But now all that has changed. Communication around the world is instantaneous, while travel is limited only by the means we choose. Because of this, we are greatly influenced and affected by what others do now more than ever. So last, but certainly not least, great hail is seen in the seventh trumpet and bowl, and men blaspheme God because of the plague of this hail. What does this hail symbolize? The following words from Christ tell us. Because lawlessness is increased, most people's love will grow cold. Lawlessness is the symptom, but the source of it is our lack of love for God and others. No doubt, coldness of heart blasphemes God. For God is love, and he who abides in love abides in God, and God in him. Strong's defines blasphemed as vilify. Gemini states to vilify someone or something means to speak or write about them in an abusively disparaging manner with the intention of damaging their reputation, causing others to have a very low opinion of them. In essence, it means to slander, defame, or malign someone with harsh and critical statements. The goal of vilification is to make someone or something appear wicked, contemptible, or worthless. I immediately think of the Lord's words in Matthew 5, verses 21 through 26. Doesn't belief in eternal torment not vilify our Creator? Peter's words are especially fitting for our time. We read, "The end of all things is near. Therefore, be of sound judgment, sober spirit for the purpose of prayer. Above all, keep fervent in your love for one another, because love covers a multitude of sins." So one must ask, is man more wicked now than he was 100 years ago, 500 years ago, or 5,000 years ago? I'm inclined to say no. But as mentioned, technology has brought man's wickedness to our doorstep, making it easier than ever to push our lawless agendas to the next generation. What we take for granted in the hands of our children is shifting the spirit of this age in ways we are only now beginning to realize. So what is the solution for this increase of lawlessness? Peter says it. Above all, keep fervent in your love for one another, because love covers a multitude of sins. When Jesus came to his own 2,000 years ago, many expected him to amass an army and defeat the Roman Empire that presided over their lives. Even after his resurrection, the disciples asked him, "Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" But the Lord's answer was not an army then, nor one now. The Lord knew they would soon be endued with the same love and spirit of sacrifice that he had shown for almost 3.5 years. No doubt, one of the most damning aspects of self-centered teachings, religious or otherwise, first, prejudice, followed by a lackadaisical attitude of simply waiting on the Lord to vindicate us. Do we find a hint of pride beneath all of this? Absolutely. Remember what Paul said? We would be lovers of ourselves, money, and pleasure rather than lovers of God. That's okay. At least we have a form of godliness, right? Great tribulation. It's not coming. We're in it. Perilous times. They're not coming. We're in it. Judgment. It's not coming. We're in it. How else do we account for all the turmoil across the world? And again, technology is changing the face of everything in ways we still don't comprehend. Let it be known, dear brother and sister, love is patient. Love is kind and is not jealous. Love does not brag and is not arrogant, does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own, is not provoked, does not take into account a wrong suffered, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. If I can walk in this, then I know what it means to be free. Yes, it's true. Once the disciples were baptized by the Spirit in the upper room, they went everywhere preaching the gospel, healing the sick, even raising the dead as Jesus had done. But their greatest accomplishments were not in the miracles they performed, but in the love and self-sacrifice that was so evident in their lives. Love covers a multitude of sins. This is His grace. We can sing about it, and it's far greater to walk in it. I will close with the following. And one of the scribes came up and heard them disputing with one another, and seeing that he answered them well, asked him, "Which commandment is the most important of all?" Jesus answered, "The most important is, 'Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength.' The second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these."